The very bitterly cold Arctic air arrived on that Sunday.
When the state legislature began hearings in February into what caused the deadly power blackouts, the first person to appear before the Senate was Bob Rose, chief meteorologist for LCRA, an energy provider for parts of the Hill Country and Central Texas. He kept his company in the loop about how bad it was going to be.
Management was very aware. I communicated through email to a large segment of our organization.
According to public records, Rose has more than 40 years' experience in meteorology.
Hey everyone, meteorologist Jen Myers here.
Jen Myers, meteorologist for Encore, which provides energy to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and some of West Texas, has over a decade in that field. But at CPS Energy, it's a different story altogether. Officials confirm the utility uses a local contractor for forecasting, who appears to have been a college student at Incarnate Word for much of his tenure, or may even still be one, depending on who you talk to. He told CPS officials he graduated from UIW with a degree in meteorology in December. But a university spokesman said he was still a student and was not listed as a graduate. The vice president of weather operations for DTN, the outside vendor used by CPS, tells us the utility gets access to their weather platform, which includes services like a 14-day forecast and mapping for various severe weather events. But the VP said it's highly unlikely DTN staff spoke directly to the CPS weather contractor between February 9th and February 15th. The key days leading up to the storm's arrival.
There were systemic issues across the state. The real thing to keep in mind is it wasn't just a CPS Energy issue. Millions of people had challenges and they didn't have power for that time period. But it was something that we had never seen before in terms of thinking that we had to plan for 5 days of potentially really intense and bad weather.
Invoices obtained by the defenders show the weather contractor, who refers to himself as Kid Coldfront on one social media platform, has never been paid more than $716 in a single week. CPS officials refused to say how many hours he'd worked in any given pay period. His income often dwarfed by what the utility shells out for its customized weather platform. CPS paying DTN nearly $120,000 in a single 21-month period. The utility's chief financial officer, Gary Gold, could not say why his company pays so much for weather mapping and graphics and then so little to have them analyzed.
I really do not have the information to be able to answer that question for you.
Criticism for CPS Energy has come in bunches over its handling of February's extreme weather event, including the hundreds of millions of dollars it paid for natural gas, bills it's now fighting in court not to pay. The utility has also been slammed for not having a licensed meteorologist on staff.
I come with my own biases and prejudices.
Judah Cohen is a Columbia University educated climatologist. He says companies that rely on the weather should not only have meteorologists, but would benefit from having someone with a background in weather research.
When it comes to the polar vortex itself, we're not capitalizing on our ability to maybe predict it and what the impacts are.